Everybody clearing. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen these in a while. If you've been with me for a bit, you've seen this selenite clearing. I love these little wings. Okay, let's get into the divine masculines today and where divine masculines are at. But first off, let's see for the collective what we can. Oh, we are getting purpose and health. Okay, so these things are synonymous right now, coming into ultimate health so you can fulfill your purpose, whatever that looks like for you. Everybody's at different places, but I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul, and I know what I'm here to do. So aside from your counterpart or anything on this journey that is taking your focus, this is your ultimate focus right now. This is going to bring you the longevity. This is going to bring you the, honor of the temple that you find yourself in. You know what your intuition has been telling you about the direction you need to go in that is life affirming. These two combinations talk about celebration of life, aliveness, and, living your best life. So let's see. Yeah, I'm being called to do one more card for the collective. What can we see regarding, okay, focus. I just said focus how many times? Examine your priorities. Are they in alignment with purpose and health? Place attention with intention. Be strong in your purpose. You will achieve your goals. And pleasure. Celebrate life. Didn't I just say those things? Oh, everybody, this is what it's about. So celebrate life, engage in your passions. What you seek is seeking you. Love with your whole being. Release control of others and be your own beloved. Really get it. Really come into honoring, not, rejecting any part of yourself. This is, I just heard when push comes to shove, you're the only one you've really got in all those ways that knows what you need and how you need to be loved. This is like setting a foundation so that you can teach others how to treat you. And that's, sometimes we hear that statement in a disintegrated context when somebody's being exposed to something and not being able to break a cycle and wanting to up level out of it. But it's easier said than done. And we're even getting to the minute levels, the nuanced levels of self-care, self-love, purpose here, where there isn't anything happening on such a degree that we would have to make, massive changes. But it's these subtle energies that make the difference between surviving and thriving. And so we are working on that, this focus and pleasure and aliveness and life-affirming maximum experience of this reality. Our health and wellness has everything to do with how much we can access on the deepest levels. And that doesn't mean we have to be completely free from all earthly concerns, physical constraints, and all of that. But it is to the best of each of our abilities here to show us how to really honor that, how to accommodate where we're at, to be realistic with that and to be honoring of it so that we can do our best with what we have to work with and not have condemnation of self or fear of other. Okay, let's get into where the divine masculines are. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for where the masculines are regarding this journey at this time? And some advice for the DMs watching. Also, what do the feminines need to know about that? And advice for the feminines. Number 333 is very much in the energy today. I've been pre-shuffling in threes and was told I needed to say that as a number sync of the day. Feminine And advice for the feminines. If you didn't catch yesterday's reading, I did announce that I have more sessions open in February. Would love to work with you. Okay, let's get into it. Masculines, what are you thinking of the connections right now? Okay, separation and the 5D. This card came out yesterday with the divine feminines beginning to take their staff even within separation and really on a different level, not feel separated, living your very best life regardless and bringing yourself out of the cold. And masculines are watching that happen. You are a light that way. Their own inner feminine, their own intuition, masculines that you've been negating is also coming to the forefront here. It's like you've got these expectations. This is a meme now. These are your expectations, giving the side eye at your gifts and talents and authentic self, wanting to come out of hiding and step into the forefront. And so, yeah, this is and the inner struggle that the masculines are being brought through the ranks of with this connection about being unapologetically you, masculines, bringing yourself out of that iced out feeling like you're the odd one out. And this connection is very much influencing that. And then we get for your advice, Cosmic Flower. The frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence into the world. Exactly. This is your inner intuitive empowerment that knows when to make the moves and how to roll. Yeah, there's a greater purpose to these connections. What can we see for the feminines? This is progress. This is progress for your masculine. Bringing themselves out of the cold, bringing themselves into being unapologetically them. This is how they wave their freak flag and meet you in this ascended, no holds barred, full permission to aliveness. These are the healthiest connections we can get into because they are soul honoring. They are soul deep. They are not fickle. They are not conforming to the stigmas of fear. They are full on living. What can we see for the advice for the feminines? Knight of Swords in the inverse. This means like refraining from communicating and dropping into observing this progress. Again, all these swords can mean communication. This is eyes open, witnessing the changes, not needing to talk about it, watching, seeing, observing, tracking, understanding the progress, seeing the overview, seeing the big picture. Watching in these sweeping themes of growth. So feminines, you're being asked to do an overview of your connection and see how far the connection has come. I know the message has come through in previous channelings recently where we're meant to look at our own personal progress, but this is really look at where your connection was at a few months ago or, a year ago, and look how much you have learned directly because of this person, how much differently the energy feels, how much more free and soft and flowing and accommodating and forgiving and unconditional your connection has become since you began this. Even if it was hot and heavy, there is a different smoothness coming into it. What can we see for the masculines' thoughts on the feminine at this time? Nine of Cups, deep within. They're realizing how much they want you, how much they wish for you, how much they've wanted someone just like you, how much their heart keeps saying to them, this person, this person. What is the advice for the masculines? Authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So yes, masculines, you're coming into looking like you fulfill the part. Sometimes the emperor can be too stoic, too much in control, too brave-faced to the world, powerful, directed, and realized. Yes, I'm thinking of Billie Eilish and how Billie Eilish never smiles because it shows a weakness. And that's the kind of thing we're talking about. You can't just be in that emperor energy. You have to be receptive, wise, and loving. So there's this softening and this kind of glimpses. I'm almost seeing the stoic emperors like doing these really like things and then being like, did they see? Yeah, emperors, there's going to be a little bit more of that because you wish for your feminine. It's like you're kind of letting them in a little bit. Yeah, so let that softness come in. You're allowed to be smushy whooshy squishy with your feminine masculines, and that doesn't mean that you're not masculine enough. That means that you found your safe nurture and that this person is trustworthy, and it's opening up this aspect. So you can still be in authority of your life. And, you know, there was a fear in the past that you would have totally lost yourself or given into this connection in a way that would have overwhelmed and overpowered you when you couldn't hold your own. But now you're able to bend a little in the areas of growth here. What are the feminines meant to know about this? Those keys again, this is the key, is this balance. It's the inner union. It's the ability to read ourselves and the energies masterfully by getting this higher guidance, running it all through our hearts, looking for this balance that only the higher templates can offer us as a measure. The keys of heaven, again, this is always the keys of heaven because it's the high priest, and the high priest ordains, let's say, that aspect that when you hit on the chord of righteousness, the high priest is there giving you the key. It's an exchange. And once you taste that, once you go to that degree, you can't unsee what you know. So we're getting the keys of heaven because we're elevating our assessment of what's been going on to measure it by the highest perspective that we can get at this time, which is inclusive of safety and sensuality and aliveness and that alchemical mix of broad spectrum understanding. It's not just compartmentalized into lust or love or friendship or more than platonic. It's this mix of all of it. It's the sweet spot in the middle of it all. You know how you have to just put a key right into the lock. You're not like doink, doink, doink. It's you've got to know where that key fits. And so we're being given this empowerment on a higher level. This is discernment at its finest. What is the advice for the feminines? Four of Wands, stay union focused. That means don't settle. Don't settle with karmic partners. Don't settle with your counterpart. If you really have found somebody that you believe you could have it all with 1000%, don't settle prematurely. Don't be in, lamenting, longing, sorrow about it not being here. Just know that that means by implication that you're on the way to it, and hold out for that. That doesn't mean be icy and, have ultimatums. It means enjoy, unfold, open, relish, revel, allow, and enjoy the journey. Your foundation, your enjoyment is being brought in towards this union by way of your consciousness understanding things in a more than mundane interpretation. And so we can't know these things without seeing it unfold, revealed. As we progress on the journey, we get these confirmations, we get these delightful surprises, we get these aha moments. And this is the key. It's about the journey. It's about the things we discover as we continue to open our hearts. Now, I know because I've been working with people for years now, which I'm so grateful, but I see markers on this journey, and it is consistent across the board. Certain beliefs, certain fears that we all get, certain paradoxes that come to highlight when we're at different developmental stages of forgiveness, of letting go, of unconditional love. There is a trail map. I have not defined that yet. With the membership area, I believe we're going to start talking about some of these stages and looking at some of these themes as a think tank sort of scenario. So More to come on that. What can we see for the masculines on the heart space? Judgment, yeah. So this is the revelation of this inner freak flag I'm hearing again, that the masculines can only express safely with you. No one thinks like you and I. The masculines are understanding. So their eyes are being opened to, if they searched all the world, they may never find somebody as aligned as you are for them. And they're really starting to see those soul alignments rather than the superficial, you know, the eye candy or the dime a dozen kind of energy, the cookie cutter, like the gluttonous availability of the temptations. It's a smorgasbord out there for those that want to partake, but there's something about short-term versus long-term that is not sustainable. And now we're starting to see the masculines understanding the value of going more deeply. Life is too short. I'm also feeling in the energy that the masculines are feeling, this is second chances, but also no regrets, that life is short. Something has come to your attention, masculines, that you can't take life for granted and you might as well be with the one you love. So I was doing a meditation yesterday, and this is really beautiful. This is coming out because what the guides told me was that when we are chasing somebody that's not into us, now you can feel if they are, but they're not saying it. It feels different than when you've got a fixation on somebody and they are like adamantly saying, you are not on track with this. I don't feel the same. There's a difference in that than somebody being in an insecurity or feeling like they can't give you what you need because they've got you on a pedestal. There's a difference between those two things, or if the timing's not right. This journey is one of mastery, and this is why you cannot, anybody outside your connection cannot tell you if it's your person or not. Only you know these nuanced interpretations of what you're picking up on. Bring it back around. So the masculines are realizing, if there truly is mutual affection here, that there is no reason under heaven that they should hold back from these connections. They're finally realizing, if the love is actually available here, one of the most regrettable things that they will do is to continue to withhold from a scenario here. They are realizing they may not find another like you, divine feminines. Their eyes really are awakening to that truth right now. What is the advice for the masculines that are seeing this? That part of the differences is what makes you theirs, their compatible other. Solar plexus, empowerment. Yeah, so we're talking about where masculines, your feminine is available to you. Your feminine is offering you love. Your feminine is receptive, and you're the one holding back for whatever reason. It is the advice here for you taking this authority to flow with it, but also the confidence on the solar plexus. The yellow flower of life supports our sense of self, our personal power, our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So this is your value on a deeper than mundane level. This is your humor, your perspective, your creativity being expressed and owned. And knowing that part of that package is the exquisite being that your feminine is. Your feminine would not be attracted to you the way they are if they weren't in alignment with this. They would not be receptive to you if it wasn't part of your expression of self to align with someone like them. And so you can start looking at, you know, it's not a status or a trophy to be connected to your divine feminine, but it should give you a healthy sense of pride and acknowledgement. Like, imposter syndrome being let go of and the shoes not being too big anymore. This is your chance to really see that energy doesn't work that way, that's lopsided. You always magnetize what you are. You always manifest what you need, even if you can't see it at the time. If you're seeing your feminine as just like, why would they want me? I'm like just an ordinary Joe Blow, then, this is about your empowerment. If you truly do feel your feminine is so exquisite, that means that you are that and you just haven't recognized it fully. And it's time to be more grateful, masculines. It's time to let that gratitude sink in, that you have been deemed worthy by the cosmos to align with somebody like this. Part of the lifelong journey from here on out is going to be both counterparts actually receiving the love from their counterpart with grace and believing it. That is something that we haven't really had the blessing to experience in karmic situations because the love isn't there to give. It's a lesson, a teaching, and the love is in all things, obviously, but it's not that personalized for me, my person kind of exchange. And so the empowerment is unlocking here. This key is unlocking the empowerment where masculines are seeing that part of them loving themselves is actually allowing this relationship intimacy to deepen, and that it's safe, that this is a person that is here to really honor and be on the same team and have each other's back because it's actually aligned. It's not like it's contrived. In karmic situation, it's fickle because the person isn't really in alignment, so it doesn't feel like that have your back kind of stuff. In these, there's a integration of the knowledge of truth that you two actually are like-minded on a soul level. You might be from different walks of life, you might look different, there might be differences about you, but fundamentally you are on the same page and you at a core level believe and uphold the same principles, the same life-affirming desires in a compatible way. It's a true match. So masculines, really look at the ways that is so and not the segregations. What is the feminine needing to know right now? This is what's going to bring the public victory, the awareness. So deep within, just you also look at these truths about your connection. Allow that to also be good in and of itself. Even if your counterpart never fully were to embrace this, the lessons that you have gained in this and also the way of looking at your connection, that you've seen the depth of another one that expresses like you do, the ways you've seen yourself in your masculine, the way you have gotten that permission to be fiercely more you because you've seen somebody that gets it like that. That gratitude that you have experienced is what will naturally grow into more as you manifest more of the confidence from your side of it, that it's not by chance that you have been aware of this person or had the connection that you have with them. And that's a knowledge deep within. When these cards come out in the inverted, it's talking about this inner knowing. And so, yeah, feminines right now, it's about your own masculine showing up for your own inner feminine, your own inner masculine, and really claiming that sweet softness, that truth of your heart, and validating it and affirming it and showing up for yourself in that way that says, yes, I am experiencing this best part of me being brought through in safety and getting to know this aspect of me that I haven't fully felt safe to express or see or look at. My resilience. I'm seeing like a seedling pushing up and going through the flowering of the tree of life. And as you're on that journey, this counterpart, even if it's a karmic partner that you're watching this for, or whatever you want to describe this as, twin flame, aligned one, at your stage of journey, feminines, it's exactly what you need for this continued revelation of self. And so because this card is in the inverse, this is a victory upon victory of aha moments and getting to know yourself and seeing these inner workings of reality. This is you confirming what really matters, how to see the world, how to interpret energies. This is empowering you to be sure. It's bringing you into the readiness to only be attracted to and engage with that which can meet you on those core levels, and not necessarily ever want to settle again for anything that doesn't meet you on that level. What is the advice for the feminines? Ace of Cups, unconditional love of self. Exactly. This is about falling in love with the true you and actually knowing your worth in that place that doesn't settle, doesn't pretend, doesn't fake it, and doesn't even push it when you know yourself that the harmonics haven't been reached for that unbridled passion to engage. Follow that zing. And be honest with yourself when you don't have that fire, even when you want to. That can indicate timing issues and things that you need to focus on. So this is about being impeccable with how you're reading your own cues on every level, and, you know, waiting for that time when emotions, mental layer, and body, mind, body, and spirit all kind of align, and striving to crack the code of when does that happen for you? What is that frequency that you've come into when that clicks? And then consistently bringing yourself back into that time after time till it's a way of life. Only you know the karmas and the struggles and the puzzles you're working on, and when they click and when they make sense to you. You're a master of your particular karmic trajectory, and you have a whole lot of souls in this world that would benefit greatly from the solutions that you each find as you are just overcoming and becoming more true versions of self. This is the benefit of these journeys, is they really help you see those aspects of self. That's why they say this is another you. Okay, masculines, heart space for the feminines. Ooh, Tower. Yeah, there is an overnight revelation I'm getting here where the masculines are suddenly seeing that there is no real reason to resist this connection. All those reasons now seem silly. In the past, they were not silly. They were things that you were imprinted with, masculines. They were, you know, expected ways or cautionary ways. It's like Earth comes with a blueprint you're born into, and if you deviate from that, who's going to pay for it? Where are we going to get the resources? How are we going to navigate this? This is unexpected. And so you've been doing this overhaul. You've been doing a lean overview. That's the Toyota standardized overview. Okay, so reflection, your advice. There's the 33s. Nice. The energy of reflection supports our growth through the insights we get from the contemplations of self and others. So yes, you are seeing, like, masculines, you are reaching epiphanies, a growth level epiphany. So you have been tracing certain thoughts, having these different growth paths. You've been working them, and it's like all of a sudden you've exhausted the what ifs and the worst case scenarios and the cautionary things, and you're finding yourself at the end of that edge of discovery with nowhere else to go other than pointing to this being the one and go time. Like, there's no other caution to consider here. You've exhausted all of those fail-safes. Yeah, you know, feminines, this masculine, if it's your aligned one, they will qualify themselves consciously to know you're the best choice for them in all the world. It may feel like you're going through an audition. You're putting them through an audition as well, though. And when people are actually qualified to say, this is my person in mastery, that means they know firsthand that that is true. And that is a process to come to. You have to go through a series of real world experiences to be able to see if this person is going to meet you on that level. What is it for the feminines? Okay, yeah, every cell of my body, the devil here. So feminines, it's a completed work. We are anchoring spirit into the physical form. You cannot have true love and monogamy if every cell in your body isn't in alignment with the truth of this person. And yeah, it's like the masculines have finally gotten to the bedrock of all of the philosophies that would keep them from knowing for sure if you are the one true love. And feminines, just hold on to that every cell of your body, because that's the kind of level of love that twin flames are desiring. We are the impeccable lovers. We want pure, complete love for who we each are authentically. And so it's not a small undertaking, feminines. It's a complete thing. It transforms your actual DNA. Oh my gosh, think of all the babies born in this kind of love and how their DNA is going to have like this absolute love-based, massive up level in one generation. Babies getting the love they need right from birth because their parents aren't wounded anymore. Come on. Heaven on earth? Yeah, everybody. What is the advice? 7 of Wands, inner bravery. Just keep doing this brave sifting within you so that you can be as flawless as you can, feminines. Just keep going through this process of showing up as the best version of self, and just know that it's about to come into the physical and be realized on every level. The 3D is the densest, so that's the level that it unfolds in last. We do the energetic heavy lifting, and then it makes way for these things to actually unfold into the physical. What can we see for the masculines wanting to manifest? 7 of Pentacles, they're waiting to see how this new revelation, it's like they got to let the dust settle before they can see what's going to happen next, what's going to come of it. What's the advice, masculines? Connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas. So yeah, you're beginning to find the alignment with your feminine, not so much all of the stealthy ways that it could be an issue. You've kind of unhooked from all of those issue thought processes, and now you're seeking connection. What do the feminines need to know about this? Daughter of Cups, surrender to it. Allow it. Don't get ahead of yourself. Start to see your connection right now as the get-tos and the where we can and the we can build from here's. So everything before, wipe the slate clean. You don't re-engage with anything low vibe from the past unless you do it. Unless you say yes prematurely, if there's still a red flag and you're like, I hope it's going to be different this time. Don't hope. No. Understand, but don't be on guard so that you can be like getting rid of that masculine at the slightest drop of a pin. Be in your confidence, feminines, so that you can allow for that joyful, lighthearted energy to be there. And if it starts legitimately feeling bad to you, cease the direction or the momentum or what you're doing and say, that doesn't turn me on. That doesn't work for me. But don't do it in a rejecting way. Just do it in a way like, buzzkill. And the Lovers, yes, keep paying attention to that higher template, running everything that you're experiencing through that, not through whether you're worthy of love or not, whether your person values you or not. You know, that external gratification, running it through your heart. Does it feel good to me? Does it feel aligned to me? What can we see for the actions the masculines are taking? Two of Swords. Okay, so there is a blindfold here and they are choosing a truth. They are filling into, despite anything that anything or anyone out there would have to say about it, the masculines are choosing this connection. On my table, this is like offering towards the feminine. And so, yeah, they're leaning towards offering you a truth. They're also wondering, there are some things with the sword in the inverse here. Masculines, you're wondering some things that you don't fully know about where your feminine stands. So the masculines do have some questions, some uncertainties here with the feminine, and it's not an insecure feeling. It's literally details that they would like to know at this stage. What is the advice for the masculines? Integrity supports our choice to be consistently truthful and honest while being guided by high moral standards. So masculines want to protect these connections. Rejection is protection, or divine protection. So many times the masculines, their conscience will not let them go step over middle when they know that they are not fully focused in the way that they believe you deserve. And so if they have conflicting thoughts or priorities, they will not come forward to you. Unfortunately, they will still engage with karmic people because that's what the necessity is to learn certain lessons. They know what you deserve, feminines, and so they won't descend themselves on you, of all people, when they're still feeling a mess. And they'll go and sort that stuff with lesser challenges, or, they'll magnetize a karmic situation that is compatible with that trauma or with that mess. And they will attempt to find some clarity by acting out with that karmic scenario, and it's largely unconscious. This is not a conscious thing. When we know better, we do better. But when we're feeling frazzled and uncertain, we gravitate towards what is familiar, and what is familiar is our karmic growth edge. And so, yeah, there are moments of, coming together in high frequency, and then there are moments of going off and experiencing things that feel uncannily magnetic to us, temptations or things that keep pulling us back in. But masculines, yes, you are beginning to see consciously that those lower vibrational things are stemming from misconceptions of and fear of misguided fears, insecurities. Anytime we have coping methods or crutches, it's because we're feeling weak energy. And so integrity gives us strong energy. And so masculines, you are literally understanding that when you align with your strong energy, your moral understanding, that you can't bring yourselves to go back to lower vibrational coping methods or turning a blind eye, or how you navigated when you were more immature. Bit by bit, you're doing better. And when you come to that realization and not listen to everybody else outside of yourself, or peer pressure, or what your friends think, that feels kind of like, oh, really? Is that really the way it is? Like, have you found yourself, masculines, going, oh, that's a little bit pessimistic, or certain friends saying things that don't feel life affirming, and you kind of get that feeling? That's your moral standard up leveling, and you really, you can't be listening to those blind leading the blind. You've got to tap in and go towards it. What do the feminines need to know here? Yes, this is the truth. So hold out in this knowledge of the truth, for real, and allow your masculine to, rise up to that level. Don't lower your standards just to get some of that. Let your masculine come up and meet you. Okay, passion's going to start up leveling because you've been holding this higher frequency, feminines, and your masculine is beginning to, ascend to meet you up there, is what I'm getting here. Wow. Okay, biggest challenge for the masculines. The Star, not wanting to wait for this to happen one day. Masculines are suddenly realizing they could, you know, show up more present with you and dispel their fear or stigmas, that they do have always the opportunity to meet you in that high frequency. They don't have to keep it at arm's length. So that's the challenge, is the masculines knowing that there is immediate access if they surrender their fear. What is the advice for the masculines? Attraction amplifies the qualities that attract and support us on our journey towards inner balance and harmony. You have attracted this feminine. Yes, you attract karmic energies as well, masculines. Some things teach us lessons, and some things are life affirming and foster growth in a very productive way. It's like the masculines are realizing they could actually kind of go all in to their higher timelines and immediately go on to their star path of destiny. It's like they see a window of opportunity coming up. In the past, they have not taken it. In the past, the masculines have said the shoes were too big. So the masculines, you are feeling a new invitation in the energy to kick this off. And it is about knowing that you have manifested this into your life just so much as your feminine has manifested you, that you are a blessing, and that the two of you do have the potential to go to a very high level of ambition, influence, abundance together. You have attracted this in. So masculines, this challenge is that you may not fully recognize yourself in this new waveform of existence, but rest assured, if it's showing up in your reality, you have attracted it, and it does represent inner balance and harmony. So if you're trying to decide between a karmic partner, a karmic potential, or your feminine, just know that your feminine always gives you this sense of inner balance and harmony, and it's your own resistance to it that causes you to feel frazzled. You know, sometimes those drama loops, or that like intensity that you feel with a magnetic pull to karmic partners, it doesn't necessarily provide you with inner harmony and balance. And sometimes we know that isn't, you know, the most life affirming, but we're drawn to it. And so, yeah, sometimes it is our fear of greatness that we balk at. And we do go to things that are familiar and maybe not in our highest and best interests, that are distractions for us. So masculines, if relationships or patterns of short-term gratification, those things that distract you from ultimately being productive, if those things are pulling on your energy, really look at internally how much of a distraction that is, and then be real with yourself about how with your feminine, you have the opportunity to actually streamline, buckle down, and go to new heights. You really do. If you get out of your own drama loops and stop bringing in speed bumps and road bumps into your life by, you know, oops, you went and did that low vibe thing again, and then, yeah, another month goes by and you haven't really, you know, done better because you haven't chosen better, you're going to watch your life fall away in regret. And this is saying you are worthy of this. If it's showing up in your reality, it is available to you. You have to say yes to it. You have to take the opportunity. And it is our fear of success in this case that's coming to the surface. So yeah, the biggest challenge, masculines, is your fear of success, and, you know, sky's the limit kind of thing. It's like the sky is coming down to offer you a helping hand to say, would you like to live on your highest timelines? And you have to realize you've attracted this because your soul has been crying for more, but you have free will and you have to choose to go all in with it. This is saying that you have auditioned your feminine and that you have realized that they are what they say they are. And so now it isn't a risk to go forward to this. So masculines, if this reading is for you, you know what's good for you, and you know your feminine is beyond any of the other opportunities, because there is a strength of character and alignment there. There is righteousness in these connections. What do the feminines need to know? Drop your guard. Allow it to just, the gravity of this to pull it all in. You don't have to effort and persevere anymore. Part of this level of perseverance is the self-love that also rests. And you know, yesterday's reading, where that allowing the love to sink in is now the way of continuing. It's now getting out of your own way and allowing this journey to be supportive. Just allowing yourself to realize your worth. And, you know, when I think of that, this looks like that feeling of allowing that golden glow to be included and to, you know, feel love coming to you rather than feeling the pain of the hellish anguish when we don't feel lovable. This is now the blessing coming in. What is the advice? 10 of Cups. Yes, feminines, really don't hold back talking to yourself about what your standards and what you actually know that you're worth now. And just feel that coming to you. Feel that healed timeline. Feel that healed relationship. Feel that abundance. Feel that worthiness. Feel that knowing that it is here. Feel it viscerally. Allow it to just fill your heart with that soft golden glow of knowing. Yeah, just allow that. Because your masculine is also beginning to be attracted to these life-affirming pathways. Feel that the going is about to get good, feminines. Just, you don't need to know what that's going to look like, but just feel the feeling of it being good, being pleasantly surprised, being delighted, being in that receptivity. Feel it coming in. What is the advice for the masculines? Feel it. This is the telepathic connection, the vibe between the two. This is the trust. This is the frequency match. This is the knowing. So yeah, masculines, tune in to where the love is and really begin to open to it as well. Acknowledge it to yourself, masculines. What can we see for your advice? Crown chakra, know this on Most High. The violet flower of life supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. So everything you've experienced so far has qualified you to know better. Now that you know better, it's time to do better, masculines. Now that you know better, it's time to do better. What can we see for advice for the feminines? Be openly curious. You're not in Kansas anymore. You are going to start seeing these glimmers of this new timeline of your masculine coming around from the dark side up into the light. Ooh, what is the advice for the feminines? The Chariot. This is what moves it forward. So just keep holding that knowledge that, you know, eventually your light will win. The light of this connection will win. And that's what moves it forward when everybody's in that high frequency together. So your patience is paying off, feminines. What is the direction in the near future? Coming out of self-limitation. 8 of Swords. This is where we, you know, get all up in our minds and we don't allow ourselves to go forward. In the inverse like this is freeing ourselves towards the higher timelines. This is pushing through the illusion of separation, the rock bottom, the abandonment, and going beyond that, transcending that, overcoming, having learned systematically how to overcome these things in different scenarios so that we get that method across, unilaterally across life's challenges, and we now have confidence in being able to solve any problem that comes our way. And, you know, choosing to align with love and being gifted somebody that's in this kind of alignment, that is not a casual happening. That's not by chance that each one of us on this journey has refined to the level of discernment that it is required to be able to tell the difference between these acting out unconscious patterns and the love of a lifetime being offered to us. There is no condition that can stand in the face of love. And those conditions are finally falling in our minds. Love is worth it, masculines. Real harmony with a partner is worth it. Transformation. Transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through the times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. Forgive ourselves and others for not being here sooner. Aho. The ancestors say aho. Feminines, the love is here. And you get to see it together. It's not going to be intrusive. It's going to be at a rate where, as you see that for what it is, it's going to build slowly. This revelation will hit a mutual threshold, but you will continue to be intrigued by the revelation of love for the rest of your life with the right person. It won't be a matter of reaching a destination and then your work there being done. It's literally going to be when you're with the right person, getting to see that every day is Christmas kind of energy, because you're going to see this present moment unfolding. You're going to see the newness. When you're with the right person in your relationship, you are celebrating the growth of that person. Every time that person has an epiphany and grows, you're right there to witness and encourage and celebrate that with them. That's love. Advice for the feminines, Queen of Cups, tap into that. Celebrate the growth in yourself and your person. Appreciate that deeply. How locked in our own bubbles we were when we began this journey, even before we even met this person. Just the way that it's been about coming out of our shells and putting down the vulnerability and getting into that safety, and now being able to just unapologetically be ourselves and continue to grow, and seeing how as we grow there aren't as many people that we would want to be, growing with. They don't all get it. And so this person, they get it, they see it, and you see it in them. Ride the wave with anybody that you see that in for a time. But those that you keep growing with at that rate that is still in flow, that's your person. If you're both growing like that because of your relationship, catch stride with that and start acknowledging how everything that is in a relationship. If you don't have that, if you don't have growth, if you're not looking at the growth, if you're not appreciating the growth, you're missing it. If you're looking at anything other than that in a relationship, you're stagnating. Okay, many blessings, everybody. Bye for now.